This is Ring of Honor superstar Shane Taylor, and you're listening to Tapped Out Interviews with Lewis Carlin.
Hello and welcome to Tapped Out Interviews. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin, and we are part of the Tapped Out Wrestling Podcast Network. And I'm very excited today. I was on a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm back today, and I couldn't have a better guest returning from hiatus. He is a Ring of Honor superstar. Very happy to welcome back to the show. It's his second time on the show, Shane Taylor. Shane, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Sorry, glad you're back.
Oh, thank you very much. And like I said, I couldn't have a better guest, man. I know you are an absolute fire right now with Ring of Honor. But I think you just had the birth of your second child just occurred not too long ago. Is that correct?
Yeah, about 10 weeks or so ago. Yeah, little Laura Jean came into the world, and it's funny because my 4-year-old Evie is so independent with everything she does. You know,
okay.
She can get about, make her own food almost and get everything done. So it's not like back to baby mode. So it's like,
okay.
So that's been a slight adjustment, but it's good.
Yeah, well, congratulations. I'm just thinking, you have 2 daughters now. I'm just thinking like 13, 14 years from now when they bring home their boyfriends and they find out that the dad is Shane Taylor from Ring of Honor. They'll be on their best behavior. They'll be on their best behavior for sure.
And they'll be finding out in, 14 years or so that I can still throw hands. You know what I mean?
All right, so let's talk about Madison Square Garden, man, because you were just a G1 Supercard, the New York City 6-man street fight, Madison Square Garden. So tell me about the experience. What was it like working in the world's most famous arena?
I mean, a lot of people would tell you like it's constant pressure and things, but like I didn't feel any pressure. Like it was just another show to me. But looking back, and seeing that I got the chance to make history with everybody else on that card that night, that's what was special. But I've always been a gamer, you know what I mean? So like big crowds, big moments. My entire life, I've always stepped up in those situations. I feel like I'm built for those moments. So, MSG sold out, 20,000 people screaming, and that felt normal to me. That felt like I belonged there, so nothing was out of body. There was no extra pressure. It was just business as usual. But I am extremely grateful to have been a part of it, with not only Ring of Honor, but with New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. And to be on that card that night, is something that, will definitely be a highlight of my career.
Well, so you weren't nervous at all when you were about to hit the ring, at Madison Square Garden? You were behind the curtain about to hit the ring, and you weren't nervous at all?
No, man.
Wow.
Like, I thought I was going to be, but when it was time, it was time. It was just, I've done this thousands of times. I've been doing this for 11 years now, so it's simply just business as usual.
All right, man. Well, heading into April 2019, earlier in the year or late 2018, you signed the exclusive deal with Ring of Honor. How would you say your 2019 is progressing so far?
My 2019 is great. When you look at the talked about matches of Ring of Honor, I think first on that list right now is me and Jeff Cobb from the pay-per-view, the 17th anniversary, and ever since that, and before that, I've been putting on, banger match after banger match, with anybody they put me in the ring with. So, to me, that is only more proof of what I've been saying the entire time, and that's, I'm the MVP of Ring of Honor. I am the guy, that can go out there and have great matches with anybody. So, when you're talking about who the best is, or you're talking about who is next in line to be the guy, I don't see how that line doesn't start with me.
Let's talk about Jeff Cobb for a little bit, because I did see that match, 70th anniversary, was absolutely tremendous. I was rooting for you, man. I wanted you to take that title from him. The Cleveland Destroyer was outstanding. And are we going to get Taylor versus Cobb 3 anytime soon? 'Cause I tweeted about that, and I want to talk about that tweet in a second, but, do you think we'll be getting that,
Someone else tweeted about that and he blocked him, so I don't know. I mean, I never back down from a fight in my life, so, Taylor Cobb 3, I would absolutely be up for it. I feel like our first match caught a lot of people by surprise. Our second match, there was pressure. People wanted to see if we could live up to it again, and we surpassed it. So I can only imagine what a third match would entail, but, if I get another shot at Jeff Cobb at the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, I am not leaving that arena without that championship.
That's good. And I hope you do take the title, because actually I was the guy he blocked. He blocked me for some reason. I don't know why he blocked me. I was just having a bit of fun. I just want to see Taylor versus Cobb.
He's quick with that block button, man. He's not shy with it.
I felt bad. I hope I didn't upset him or anything. If you do see him, tell him that Lewis Carlin says that he apologizes, and could you please unblock me, because I am a fan of Jeff Cobb, and I do hope we see you against Cobb one more time. But so you two have like great in-ring chemistry. In your opinion, why do you think that is? Why do you think that both of you have such great in-ring chemistry?
Because we're both physical performers, and we push ourselves to the limit. So anytime we get in there with someone of a like mind, we're going to push them to the limit as well. I think deep down he's a guy that doesn't want to be outworked, doesn't want to be outperformed, doesn't want to be seen as the B side of any match, and neither do I. So when you have people of a like-minded, like-minded goals and wants and beliefs, you can't help but, make each other better when you're out there. And that's a very rare thing. There's only a few people who've been able to bring that out of me. One being Ray Rowe, the other being, guys like Keith Lee when we were teaming up. So, guys like Jay Briscoe, that bring that attitude out of me. So being in there with Cobb does that. So I am anxious to, get in the ring with him as many times as I can, and see who the better man is, in the long haul.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it also. Definitely want to see Taylor versus Cobb 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You guys are great right together. Now, what was your initial thoughts when Cody and the Bucks and Adam Page left? Was there worry on the part of Ring of Honor, or what was the initial feeling when they decided to leave?
I mean, I can't speak for the Ring of Honor officials. I can only speak for myself, but seeing things from growing up in Cleveland, I see not only business but wrestling in general from a different perspective. So for me, it was like the worst kept secret in wrestling. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, this is what's about to happen. I can see it coming. If I can see it coming, I'm sure other people that think like me can see it coming. So the question then becomes not, is it going to happen, but what are we going to do in the meantime before it does and then after, and I think with the people that Ring of Honor has brought in, with the performances that we've had, with the shows we've had so far, we're doing a great job of doing what we do every year, and that's just simply reloading talent and continuing to fire on all cylinders. I'm happy for them to be able to do what they do and take a very big risk and a very big step with their venture, and I hope it works out for everybody. The more places that we have going, the more jobs there are for the men and women of this profession, the more money they make, the better they're treated, and competition is always good.
So, with All Elite Wrestling, do you think they could overtake the WWE eventually?
I don't know. That seems to be the scuttlebutt, but there's a lot to be done before that happens. You're talking about an era of decades of success with the WWE, their flagship show, with it being Mania, is a global event. You know what I mean? So AEW has a lot of potential, has some great talent on their roster, but they haven't run a show yet. You know what I mean?
I know, that's true. That's true.
For anybody to be like, well, they're gonna like it, it's maybe, but there's time will tell. Time will tell.
And you mentioned the new signings a little earlier. There have been a lot of new signings, new talent coming to Ring of Honor: Juice Robinson, David Finlay, Mark Haskins, PCO, Brody King, Roosh, a guy that you had a match with on Saturday, Bandito. Is there anybody in the new group that you haven't faced that you would like to go one-on-one with? Because I personally would like to see a one-on-one with PCO. Not sure if that happened yet, but I would love to see that. But is there anybody that you have in mind that you like to step in the ring with?
Yeah, I mean, there's all kind of guys that, there's, you got just about everybody they brought in, I would love to fight at some point. Brody King, I think stylistically versus myself is, probably going to be the most entertaining. Both of us are willing to do just about anything to win, and we're definitely up for delivering a lot of punishment in the process. So, that's one that I would look forward to. PCO would be fine. David Finlay, Tracy Williams,
sure.
Mark Haskins, Juice Robinson, any of those guys, would be great. Already did the one with Bandito.
Yeah.
People will see that when they're here in a few short weeks. But again, anybody on the roster when you get to this level is one of the very best in the world. So anybody that you step in there with is a world-class talent, and they need to be treated as such. You need to prepare as such. So for me, it doesn't really matter. But if any of those names were to come across, were to come across my path, I'd be more than happy to knock them out too.
Okay, there you go, man. So I actually, we talked about your match against Bandito, which was last Saturday. I haven't seen the match, but tell me a little bit about the match. I did learn that you were unsuccessful in that match, but how did that match go? And how do you prepare for a match against someone like Bandito compared to one that you had recently against, say, like Luchasaurus?
Well, I mean, yeah, anybody, I'm not going to tell you what happened,
Okay.
You're going to have to watch
Okay, fair enough.
Watch it when it comes out, but you prepare. I mean, they're two different guys. They have two different styles. While Luchasaurus can do some aerial moves, that's not his base. He has a striking base, which so do I. So that tends to be more up my alley, even with him being a bigger guy and having the longer reach, not only with his hands, but with his feet. But that's nothing new to me. You just simply have to get inside, do more damage that way, versus a guy like Bandito, who is built to fly through the air. That's where he wants to be. That's where he's most successful. So the game plan in a match like that is to ground him, if you have to work on his ribs or work on his legs to where he can't, get to where he wants to be, then that's how you beat a guy like that. Or try to counter when he's doing his thing, but once he starts running and flying around, it's a wrap for most people.
All right, cool, man, cool. During the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, Bret Hart, he was attacked by some idiot, came into the ring. So here's a two-part question for you. What would have happened to that fan if that was you in the ring? And what do you have to say to anyone who's at a pro wrestling show and they're actually thinking about jumping into the ring and getting involved?
Had that been me in the ring, I would like to believe that I wouldn't have been the one getting escorted out of the ring. You know what I mean? Like that he would have just picked the wrong guy to do that on. And for anybody thinking about maybe doing some stuff like that, do not do it. It may seem like, oh, like you may be drunk and your buddies may gas you up, but they're not going to be the ones getting punched in the face.
Nope.
They're not going to be the ones in the hospital. They're not going to have the bills. You are, so just don't be stupid. Just sit back, enjoy the show like everybody else. Have a good old time. Yay, boo, hiss, do whatever it is you want to do. But just stay on your side of the guardrail and we'll stay on ours.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think David Boy Smith Jr. jumped on that guy and got a few really good shots in. So, they were well-deserved shots as well. So what do you think is the main difference between 2009 Shane Taylor and 2019 Shane Taylor?
Obviously, in 10 years of growth, you're going to grow as a performer. You're going to grow as a person. You're going to grow as a man. I think, being in this game for as long as I have now, you look at your options differently. You look at opportunities differently. You're able to understand the magnitude of some and capitalize on others. But I think overall, like, for me now, the goal is just to continue to prove night in and night out that I'm one of the very best big men in the world. And that's really my only focus, providing for my family and proving everybody that doesn't think I am exactly who I say I am, proving them wrong and making them feel foolish for even doubting me.
All right. We spoke about you're a family man. So how do you juggle the professional wrestling life and the family life? Because I know you're constantly going on the road, Ring of Honor.
Right.
I'm not sure. We'll talk about England, the UK in a little bit. But what's it like being a family man and a professional wrestler? How do you juggle both? Or how difficult is it?
Very, very carefully. But I have a lot of help in that regard. My wife is amazing. She handles things at home while I'm gone. But yeah, like you just make sure that when you are home, you prioritize that time. My phone is usually off. You know what I mean? It's just time to be with them. Playing with my daughters and doing whatever it is they want to do. Whether that's go to the movies or just hang out and play board games or whatever. I make sure I take that time to do that.
That's good, man. But remember, they grow fast. I have a 16-year-old daughter, and it felt like yesterday I was putting her on my shoulders and walking around the house with her. But they grow really, really fast, and so I enjoy it while you enjoy it now, man. Because like I said, they grow really, really fast. So, what are your thoughts on? I wanted to ask you because it's got some press, I guess. The thoughts on the Enzo Big Cass incident at the G1 Supercard, and that's in New Japan claiming that they didn't know what was going to happen. But do you have any thoughts on that? On the
man, I don't know. I like to me it's. I don't know. Some stunts you need, some stunts you don't. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's not my call to make. But as far as who did or who didn't know, I find it hard to believe that you're gonna have two companies working on an event that big and both of them not know something. Sure. For it to seem like, or for anybody to act like
Ring of Honor is incompetent for something like that, to me, is ridiculous. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, that's just my thoughts on that. That's just my personal thoughts.
Okay.
Not every choice you make is going to be, you know, a diamond, you know, but to like, it's like two people, you know, two people go into a house, cops come, one guy leaves, one guy gets caught, the other guy, oh, I didn't know what was going on. Like, come on. Like, like, that's what it is.
Yeah. Do you know, would you know if are they under contract with Ring of Honor right now, or you're not,
I don't think so,
okay.
But again, that's not my call. Okay. That's above my pay grade. I don't really know.
Okay. Okay, now you're exclusive with Ring of Honor. Is that's just exclusive in the U.S. or is that exclusive globally?
No, just in the U.S.
Okay.
Anything internationally, I can do still.
Okay.
And I think PWG is the only clause that you can do in the States. Any independent in the States, PWG is the only one. So,
which is fine with me because I haven't ever worked there. So.
Okay.
Maybe we change that this year.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know you're coming up to Toronto, the World of the Worlds, but do you think you'd come up to Toronto, do like a Smash Wrestling show or a Destiny show, or I mean,
I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that for sure. You know, there's a lot of great talent there. Been hearing a lot of buzz about the companies. Talked to a few people about doing some stuff in Canada anyway, so that'd be great.
Okay.
If that works out, cool. You know, if not, you know, there's always next year. Who knows?
Yeah, of course, man. And I know you've had a lot of success in the UK. Are you going to be heading back there 2019?
I plan on it.
Okay.
Probably around June-ish. I want to debut for a few more companies out that way, as well as maybe hitting Italy, France, maybe Spain. Definitely want to be going to the UK more and more. My goal is when I'm not in the States for Ring of Honor to be over there. You know, I just think there's so many doors that can be open, and there's so many possibilities being over there. That's something that I should take advantage of.
What about Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling? I don't think you've ever went one-on-one with Tomohiro Ishii. I could be wrong, but I would absolutely love to see you one-on-one with Tomohiro Ishii. I think it would just be a hard-hitting affair, and I'd love to see you in Japan. Is that a company you would consider signing with, New Japan Pro Wrestling?
I mean, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to wrestle in Japan. You know, I remember, you know, talking to Ray Rowe for hours on end about it. Both of us have had similar goals. He's gotten to achieve his, and I'm still working towards mine. And while it's definitely a dream and a goal to go there, getting there is much harder than people think it is. So while I hope for it to happen, you know, I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, and we'll see. But there's many guys that I would love to wrestle from there. I've wrestled Hiroki Goto, I've wrestled Evil, wrestled Killer Elite Squad and Suzuki in a 6-man. So yeah, I would love to, you know, bring on Ishii too.
Yeah, I mean, I would love even Tetsuya Naito. I think you would fit in perfectly in Japan. So I know Ring of Honor has the working agreement with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I'd love to see you over there at Korakuen Hall, just in the ring exchanging blows with Tomohiro Ishii. I just have that thought in my head, and I just want to see it. I just want to see it on New Japan World, waking up one day at 4:00 in the morning and it's
Right.
versus Tomohiro Ishii.
I mean, listen, man. If it were up to me, I would do it. But it's not. So here's hoping that one day maybe. You know what I mean?
All right, man. If your kids ever want to become pro wrestlers, would you support it, and what advice would you give them?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
More than likely, I would say no.
Okay.
Simply because knowing how some of the things work myself, it's not really something that I want my daughters going through.
Okay.
I would much rather I would much rather be in a position to build my brand and leave something for them to do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Something for them to take over, and grow in their own way versus taking bumps or, dealing with any other things that come with this sport. That's just my, belief right now. But if I could tell one or both of them were just hell bent on doing it, then of course, you're going to support them in whatever they do and try to make sure they have the best training, the best avenues possible to make it to where they want to be.
Are you gonna be part of the upcoming Crockett Cup? Do you have a partner?
I don't. As far as I know, I don't think so.
Okay.
That's its own thing.
Okay.
But if I'm not, then I'm going to take that time to rest and be with my family, and make sure that I am 100% for War of the World. See what gets thrown my way.
If Ring of Honor said, we want you to be part of the Crockett Cup and you could choose any partner in the world, who would you choose?
That's on the roster now, or simply just
No, it's anybody that
well,
would be allowed.
It's either me and Keith Lee or me and Ray Rowe, and
Okay.
Just about smash anybody.
All right. Actually, speaking of Ray Rowe, he just I think he did. I didn't see him, but I think he just debuted on Raw with.
Someone sent me a voice message saying that they saw him on Raw. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm going to be trying to find that as fast as possible.
They actually changed their name. They changed the name. I don't want to spoil anything for you. I'll let you see it, but they did change. They have a different name now. Unless you want me to tell you
War
what
Raiders?
it is. What's that? It's not War. No, they're called the Viking Experience now.
They are not called the Viking Experience.
They are called the Viking Experience. That's the. I think it's Eric, and I forgot the other name, but they're called the Viking Experience right now. That's the name that they debuted on Raw with.
Really?
Yeah. I was a little. I mean, War Machine's a cool name. War Raiders is a cool. I mean, they're super talented. You give them any name and they'll be successful. But
and you said and Eric who? Eric Rowan is with them?
No. I think they changed the name. One is named Eric, and I forgot what the other name of the other one is. One is named Eric. I think Ray is renamed Eric, or the other. But Eric, and there's another name.
Hansen?
I just can't remember the other name.
Hansen.
Yeah, but he's not called Hansen. He's not called Hansen in the Viking Experience. He's given a different name. I just can't remember what the name is off the top of my head. So it's the Viking Experience with two different names. That's what I'm seeing online right now. But like I said, you could call them, you could give them any name that you want, and they'll still be successful. They're tremendous.
Regardless of names or anything like that, they're two extremely talented individuals who are going to take that brand over in short order.
Absolutely, man. And I kind of wish, I know they're having great success, but I kind of miss them in Ring of Honor. I love them as War Machine, they're having tremendous success right now, and that's
absolutely,
that's cool. Nick Aldis has been making a lot of appearances in Ring of Honor, NWA champion. I know he's got the big match coming up with Marty Scurll. You ever think about, hey, I'd like to have the NWA title around my waist?
That's, it's funny that you bring that up. I was talking to a friend of mine about that, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get in any trouble or anything, but to me, the NWA World Championship would have been something that I would have loved to win if I was wrestling in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Not today. And I say that with no disrespect to Aldis or to the company or anything like that, but they followed the same mold for the last 30 years. It's still the same, good old boy club. It's still the same guys, defending the championship against their buddies. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing.
Okay.
I can't think of anybody not inside their little club that Aldis has defended that title against. Like, and if you think about high profile matches, it was Cody. Now it's Skrull.
Okay.
Like, but there's nobody that he's really trying to fight. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
That's not, that to me, that's not, I don't see how that grows your brand. I don't see how that, makes you a fighting champion if you're only taking, fights against your friends or you're only taking easy opponents. If you want to prove you're the guy, if you want to prove, you are this, you're the face that's going to resurrect, the National Wrestling Alliance and carry on that legacy, then to me, you got to fight the best. You got to fight everybody, So, in my personal opinion, if you ain't fighting me, then, you're wasting time.
All right, there you go, man. And I just pulled it up here. I'm sorry, I don't mean it's. I'll read it. It says the War Raiders are now the Viking Experience. The duo have new individual names, Ivar and Eric. So it's Ivar and Eric, the Viking Experience. So that's
wow.
That's their new names up in the WWE.
Viking Experience. Okay.
All right, cool. So what do you hope to have to accomplish by the end of 2019? Do you want Jeff Cobb's title? Do you want the Ring of Honor title, World title? What do you hope to have to accomplish?
Championships aside, I want to debut in at least 3 new countries by the end of the year.
Okay.
I want to expand my brand personally to a global stage. And be seen, and have an international presence, like some of the top guys in our sport do. To me, I think that's the most important thing right now is just growing my own brand, and preparing myself for any possible future outcomes. And then, secondly, if I have a chance at the Ring of Honor World Television Championship again, then yeah, I would obviously love that, or any championship that Ring of Honor has. But for me, like I said, when you're in this for as long as you are, you see, you see things differently. You have a different perspective on opportunity. Who gets them, who doesn't, things of that sort. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
To me, my goals are now about self. You know what I mean?
Sure.
As opposed to anything involving anything else. But if a championship opportunity comes my way, then of course I will be ready for that. And I would love to have that, but right now, just building Shane Taylor as an international brand, as an international star, that's my focus.
All right, and I think you get one more shot at Jeff Cobb. We're going back to Jeff Cobb. One more shot, I think. I think you can take the title, then you'll be the number one contender. Then you'll be the number one contender for his never openweight title as well.
Absolutely.
And one more time, Jeff Cobb, if you happen to be listening, I apologize for getting you upset. Can you unblock me, please? I'm gonna leave it at that. And just two more questions, and then I'll let you go. I'm always reading rumors that Impact Wrestling may be, working with Ring of Honor in the future. I know on the Jericho Cruise, Jay Lethal and Johnny Impact, they had a little face down there. Have you heard anything? Is there going to be any cross promotion working between Impact and Ring of Honor? And if they do, is there anybody at Impact that you would like to go one-on-one with?
As far as I know, the answer is no.
Okay.
But again, I can't speak for the bosses and what they do, but I haven't heard anything about that. But Impact is full of talented guys and girls, Yeah, I mean, there's you could literally just pick anybody, and it would be a hell of a fight. Selfishly, maybe Sami Callihan.
I was just thinking Sami Callihan.
Yeah. I think stylistically, that would be a lot of fun, not only for myself but for all the fans of both companies. So if I had to pick one, then maybe him.
All right, there you go. And I know you kind of maybe answered this question already as we're going along, but 10 years, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? I know you said you want to build a brand, you want to win championships, but where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
10 years from now? That's a very good question, man. I don't know. Okay. 10 years from now, whatever it is I'm doing, I want to be in some sort of capacity. I want to be able to be shaping the next generation of people that come after me. Whether you call it coaching, whether you call it training, whatever it is, I want to be able to be someone that kids now get to work with in the future, and somehow, some way or another, I help motivate them, or help them chase their dreams to want to be professional wrestlers. So who knows where that is? Who knows what happens between now and then? But that's something that I definitely want to be doing.
All right, cool, man. So before we go, is there anything you want to plug? Do you have any T-shirts that you want to plug?
Of course, you always got to plug the merch. Always
go ahead. Plug away.
If anybody's in the merch buying mood, please go head on over to prowrestlingtees.com/Shane Taylor, all lowercase. Head on over to ROHwrestling.com. Check out our merch store there. Pick up your Knockouts for Everybody T-shirt. Twitter, Instagram at Shane216Taylor. Go ahead and give me a follow there. Keep you updated on all the things that I'm doing. And I want to thank you guys for an incredible 11 years so far. And here's to 11 more. Or 10 more, who knows?
All right, 20 more years, man.
Or 20 more, you never know.
Absolutely, man. Well, Shane, I want to thank you so much for coming back on the show today. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you. I hope we can do it again in a few months, and I have a feeling if you do come back on in a few months, you're going to have a title belt around your waist. But you're welcome back anytime. I would love to have you again in a few months. You're extremely talented. You're one of my favorites. Tremendous in the ring, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck, and you will be a champion one day, my friend.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
My pleasure, man. Well, this has been Tapped Out Interviews. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. Once again, I want to thank my guest, Shane Taylor, Ring of Honor superstar Shane Taylor. And until next time, thank you very much, everybody. Take care, bye-bye, and stay safe. So long.